Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
Try again. Can you hear me now? Welcome to What Do You Bring to the Table?
Back in college, I took an acting course with a teacher named Mark Lewis. That class changed my life in many ways. It was more than an exploration of acting. It was an exploration of self, of being human. There was this exercise from his Acting 1 class that I remember called, Do You Hear Me? It worked like this. One actor would deliver a line from a scene we were working on, then pause and ask, Do you hear me? Your scene partner would pause and respond with either, Yes, I hear you, or No, I don't hear you. And if it was a no, you listened and then tried again. Same line, same partner, same work. The point wasn't volume, it was connection. Did it resonate? That exercise has stayed with me because at its core, it wasn't just about acting. It was about being human. Humans connecting with other humans, being present to their work, their lives. And that's the heart of this podcast.
Every episode, we sit down with someone. Through 4 simple questions about life, values, quirks, and passions, we really listen. We're not just listening for the words, but for the story underneath and around them, the values they reveal, the spark that makes each person who they are.
So whether you're a host stepping into this space, a guest, or a listener pulling up a chair, the invitation is the same. Lean in, listen deeply, and discover together,
What do you bring to the table?
Whoa, what do you bring to the table?
Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome back to What Do You Bring to the Table? This is Hunter Scanlan today. This is Adam's wife, who you've maybe seen before during our Walking in Circles podcast. He's the one always zooming in from online because you are joining us from Spearfish, South Dakota, where you just moved and we're all sad. But
Yeah.
but we still get to do opportunities like this, so that's fun. Thank you for being here today and agreeing to do this.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. Okay, let's just get started with a little bit of background. What's been keeping you busy lately?
Yeah, I feel like our summer has been crazy busy. We've been doing a lot of traveling. So we went and had a Europe trip. So that was a good 2.5 weeks gone. We had camp. So also that we had a week home and then a week to camp after going to Europe. So it was a lot. We've also had a lot of house renovations happening. So our kitchen has been being remodeled for like 2 months now. So it's been a lot. It's currently being remodeled. That's why I'm downstairs right now. So
I can't hear it, so that's good.
That's good. That's good
Yeah.
because he's been like nailing a little bit
Gotcha.
when he's upstairs. So I'm like, I'll be down here.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's been a process of living without a kitchen for a while that we're finally to the point where we can actually kind of use it. So that's been great.
Nice. Yeah.
A lot of small business stuff with my small business, trying to keep, well, I guess not trying. I'm doing a really good job at keeping myself busy. So there's that. And then just full-time work as well.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people come over recently. So that's also been a lot. We had Adam's dad and sister and nephew come last weekend. The weekend before was Adam's uncle. And then Seth and Brooke were here. So it's been a lot. We've had like no free weekend where just nothing's happening, no renovations happening, no travel happening. So it's been very busy.
Yeah, that does sound very busy. There's so much happening at your house this summer.
Yes.
And not at
there's
your
a
house
lot.
since you've been some traveling. So that's a lot of fun. What was some of the highlights that you've had in the last month or two?
I don't know. Just, I would say getting a new kitchen's pretty exciting. I'm excited for the new kitchen once it's done. So that's been great. I like showing off our house to people that come. It's been kind of the worst time, though, to show off. To be like, don't ignore all the pots and pans that are not in the kitchen right now. Just ignore everything. But it's fun to show everyone our new house. So that's been fun.
It was fun. I remember going last year, and it was soon after you guys moved, and
Mm-hmm.
so I've heard there's quite a bit of difference. I did. I think Adam showed some pictures while we were at camp of the new kitchen renos. Obviously, it's not
Mm.
done yet, but you have a couple rooms finished too. I think a guest room and maybe a spare. And it
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's rearranged down there in the living
Yeah,
room
it's
downstairs.
actually set up down here, which is exciting.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny. He sent me. Adam also sent me a picture of his little corner, his Lego
Yeah,
display wall. It's
exactly.
pretty fun.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm looking at right now. So
gotcha.
where you guys slept on the floor is more put together now. So
Yeah, so now it's more like a viewing living room. Do you have a TV down there and stuff too?
we
No.
do. Yep, yep.
Yep. So it's kind of like the theater place.
Yeah,
Fun.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tell us about your trip to Europe. Did you just go to Croatia to visit Adam's family, or where else did you go?
Yeah, so Adam's grandparents live in Croatia. So and they're like 90s. So it's one of those things where if we want to see them, we kind of have to go to them.
Hmm.
So when we go, we try to hit another country or countries over there just because if you make the trip over there, you
Yeah.
kind of want to see other things. So this time we went to Ireland, Scotland, and
Oh,
England,
fun.
specifically Dublin, Edinburgh, and London,
Nice.
and then went to Croatia afterwards. So,
Fun. Yeah, that's I don't know. I was talking the other day with some people who were like, England is or Great Britain is four countries now, and that's the four you just mentioned. But we were just trying to remember what are they again because it's all kind of under Great Britain, and we just think England, and they're the same thing, or at least I do a lot of times, and like, young school kids do, sure.
yeah,
But it's Ireland, Scotland, and what's the third? Oh, Wales, or fourth is Wales. It's like its own weird little
it's very
country.
confusing because technically Ireland is like there's Northern Ireland and like
Mm,
so there's two sec. It's very confusing.
yeah.
That's why I
um,
say the cities more than anything.
yeah, that's fun. And so, did you get a like drive around and tour, or did you take a bus? What did that look like? What did you guys do there?
Yeah, so Adam's coworker is actually Scottish and he was recommending we rent a car and we're like absolutely not. It's driving on the other side of the road and even just walking the streets, I was looking the wrong way and I was like trying to not get hit by a car, so I can imagine driving. But we did brave it and we took the buses in Edinburgh, so it actually worked a lot better than I thought. And then we also took the tube in London, so that was kind of
Fun.
fun to figure out.
Yeah, yeah. The tube, man, that sounds fun. I've been living in Chicago. We I could take the train downtown to go to school when I had to go to school downtown, and it's very interesting. The downtown metro kind of train system is a lot different than like the trains that go to the suburbs and airports and things.
Hmm.
So it is fun to figure out, but it is like continuously. If you have a long way to go or multiple stops, you gotta catch the train at the right time, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like running through an airport a lot. It's like short, so
Yeah,
it's like you're
yeah.
catching a lot of little flights if you miss it. It's not a big a deal because there's another one, but it's like it's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fun. What was your favorite part of that adventure, the Ireland, London kind of trip?
Yeah, my favorite was definitely Edinburgh, like Scotland.
Hmm.
I just love like the vibes and just the architecture and everything was just so nice. Everyone was super nice, so that was great. We ended up like talking to some random guy in a cafe and he was just like, "So where are you from?" And he like takes his headphones out and starts talking to us. So that was really fun. We spent 3 whole days there, so it felt like we weren't like rushing to do anything. So it was really nice.
Yeah, that's really nice. It's nice to have an interaction with other people in another country that they're just genuinely interested, and it's
Hmm.
interesting to talk to them. And yeah, that's very fun. I think that's cool about the culture over there. Did you find it hard to like understand them at all?
Honestly, not really. I don't think it was too bad. I think being like in a big city probably helped. Like if
Mm,
we were to go more north, it probably would have been a little harder, but
Yeah.
it wasn't too bad.
Cool. All right. Let's hit on this next one, diving in a little bit deeper. What personal values show up in your working relationships, and what does that look like?
Yeah, so I think I was trying to think about this and like compare it to like my small business, my full-time work and everything, my relationships. I think for me, it comes down to like making sure everyone feels included, like just a lot of inclusion all across the board. Yeah, even like thinking about like family vacations, I'm always like, what's everyone doing? Are we all doing this together? Like, make sure everyone's aware of what's going on so they don't feel like they haven't been included in something. I design crochet patterns as my small business, so making things size inclusive and making sure that everyone feels included in just their body as well. Things like, I don't know, that's kind of the overarching,
Yeah. You're
yeah.
you're thinking with more of a global perspective, especially when you're talking about your small business and like in your family. You're trying to make sure that everyone is seen and heard and just feels comfortable. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. I never want someone to feel like they don't belong somewhere, or at least don't feel like they could belong if they, if they would want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Where do you think that has come from? That value. How is that? How did that get shaped in you?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm so bad at thinking, and I think it might just stem from me just like hating that feeling. I think at all times, like what things are going on, and or just feeling like I wasn't included in something. I hate that feeling. Yeah. I don't really know if there's like I can like pinpoint a memory, honestly. I feel like it's just been like little things throughout my life that could be
Sure.
like, oh, like that kind of stinks, like probably sometime in school or something, or like even like trying clothes on and being like, this doesn't fit me well, and it kind of stinks that it feels like my body type wasn't thought of.
Sure.
Or just yeah, so many different instances. Sometimes Adam's family like irritates me a little bit because there's such a big family, and so
Yeah.
it makes sense why they're this way, but I'm just so opposite. But they like if there's a vacation going on or everyone's in town, they don't tell everyone all what's going on. You kind of just have to be there to know about it. And that's fine like if they but it'd be great if they sent out a message to be like, we're all like, we're going to be doing this. If anyone wants to know, like, or wants to
Yeah.
do it, you're welcome. Because it's not like they're doing it rudely to say
Sure.
they don't want you there. So things like that, like little things where it's like, I want to make sure everyone feels included because I don't like when I don't know what's happening or if
Yeah.
I feel like things weren't thought of. I don't know.
Yeah. Being out of the loop or being inconsidered, I guess. Is that a word?
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Since you've mentioned it a couple times, I think we can go into it. Talk about how you've done that with your work in crochet and your experience, like making clothing more accessible to all shapes and sizes of people.
Yeah, yeah. So like I said, I design crochet, like knit patterns. And when I first started designing, so there's a lot of math that goes into designing patterns, and a lot of construction things to take into account, like sleeve lengths and the shaping all around. And all of our bodies are so incredibly different. Some people's arms are longer. And if you're talking about like a sweater that maybe decreases to your wrist, the stitches around your wrist are going to be smaller and the stitches around your bicep are going to be larger. And usually with a pattern, it says it has like a set length of your sleeve. So then math has already been taken into account of how to evenly decrease to those stitches.
Yeah.
But let's say suddenly your sleeve is 3 to 4 inches longer, like you need it 3 to 4 inches longer. Now that whole decrease evenly is completely wrong.
Yeah.
And you either have to frustratingly try to figure out the pattern and how to alter it to your body, or you just have a pattern that just like a garment that doesn't fit you very well. And so it feels like you weren't considered. And I don't like that a lot. So with my patterns, I made them interactive so you can fully type your body measurements into the pattern. And then there's math behind the scenes to just automatically calculate with your measurements instead of other patterns where they just give like a set number, like a set arm length for each size. And if you differ, you're kind of out of luck.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like I try to make it easy for people to adapt the patterns because some people even have just preferences of how long they want a garment to be. If they want it cropped or standard, they want to just change the arm length and they can easily do that.
Yeah. So when you're trying to accommodate for those differences and changes, do you have like a sheet or a shareable document? How do you get to interact with your customers in that way?
Yeah, so the pattern itself is a PDF that has JavaScript in the background, like
Hmm.
embedded into the PDF. So once they buy the PDF, they can just type whatever numbers and it'll automatically do it. So I don't have to necessarily like write the PDF every single customer. They can do it themselves.
Yeah, that's super cool. Which gets into a couple different things. One, you have a website that your customers can interact with, right? Is that
Mm-hmm.
something like that?
Yep.
And so that's really cool. And second, you're a coder, software engineer, computer scientist, some
Yeah,
people say.
yeah.
And so you've done that yourself, which is very impressive. Um,
Yeah, thank you.
so that's cool. I think that's an amazing way to cater to all sorts of different needs, and then also you can make something and show it as like an example, but then and someone can buy it, but they can also alter it and use
Mm-hmm.
your resources in order to accommodate themselves or to show sizing and fit that they might need and maybe make a custom order or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking sweet.
Thanks.
um, and so with that, when you do some fairs, what are they called? I like
Craft markets,
yeah,
craft
craft fair.
shows, yeah.
Okay, yeah. When when you have those craft shows and go to those craft shows, um, what is the interaction like? How do your customers approach you, and what kind of interactions do you have with them? Do you have a lot of takers with the originals, or do you chat with them about how their habits of clothing or their artistic interests? Like, I don't know. Is there an interesting story that pops out to you about those?
I don't know. Like craft shows are a little different for me because I'm selling physical rather than like digital, and it's
Hmm.
kind of a different customers. Um, Digital, it's more like people that do fiber arts themselves and they just want structure to being creative. Craft markets are more I make something cute and someone buys it, you know? And I've struggled with selling clothing at craft markets because crochet knitting takes so long
Yeah.
and it's you either have to commission a piece because everybody's different so you're going to have to measure them and tailor it to their body,
Hmm.
or I've just been selling a lot of my patterns that I've made and I just don't wear anymore, and so I'm like, well, if you guys like it more versus collecting dust in my closet, that's more preferred.
Sure.
But I don't have tons of sizing then because it's all just my size.
Mm.
So it's not super great, but just because of the limitations of how long it takes,
Yeah.
it's hard to do that.
Gotcha. So it sounds like you make some patterns. You usually make some for yourself and maybe some not, and you show them off, and then say this is where you can find it, or if someone wants an extra, or if you made another, then that's when they can buy it at a craft fair. Is that
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
I don't usually sell like sweaters because they would be insanely expensive.
Sure.
Like sweaters take up to 24 hours to make
Mm,
straight, like knitting
yeah.
or crocheting something, so it's just not feasible. So
Right.
most of the time, if they know how to crochet and knit, I will give them the pattern
Mm,
because that's the easiest. They're spending a lot less money
yeah.
doing it themselves, so
Nice. So you have a larger customer base based on your patterns versus any of your physical items.
absolutely, yeah. I
Gotcha.
do
Yeah.
all like social media and all of that. I have people that follow me like all around the globe, which is really cool. So I definitely get more of my customer base online versus in person.
Yeah, that's cool. So you can work from anywhere, and that really is a nice hobby that is adjacent to your job working as a computer scientist, and you can work from anywhere there. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's nice. And it also sounds like we can kind of get into the next question a little bit, that you're more of an organized person. You don't really like controlled chaos. You like kind of have things laid out more strategically.
Yes, I'm a very structured, organized person with everything, basically. So, yeah.
Yeah. So if you are that way and you see that Adam and his family, I know Adam from my experiences, he's just kind of more, he has some ideas and he likes to write them down, but he's more loose with his,
Go with the
um,
flow, very
yeah,
chill.
he
Yes.
is. Yeah. So how does that come up in your differences, or what are some key differences that you can show us or point us to?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely is he's good for me to make me not be as crazy and structured and organized. Um, and I think I help him stay a little organized too, so I think we have a good balance. But he always laughs at me with just everything. Like if plans don't go the way that I wanted them to or like had planned out, it stresses me out a lot. And so he tries to bring me down. But then also, I am planning when he does zero planning.
Yeah.
So there's a good balance, I think.
Yeah, that's nice to have the two sides of the same coin, to kind of like have a structure and like a plan, and then especially on a trip like you went to Europe, and then once you get there, you can kind of see how things play out and roll and with
Yeah,
each other, and kind of see how it goes. That's
yeah,
nice.
for sure.
I'm planning on chatting with him next week, so I won't get too into that. But um, can you tell us a little bit about we have talking to Brett a little. I think he was our second guest or something. My second guest, talking about doing computer science and like coding and stuff. How does structure play into that, and how do you like to use it, or if you can, in layman's terms, not layman's terms, or
Yeah.
layman's terms. So how does that work, and how does that? Do you find it satisfying, like appealing? Is that what drew you kind of to the field?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what drew me to it, to be honest. I feel like I was pretty good with computers and I didn't like the engineering aspect. I went and actually looked at both sides and I went to the computer engineering department at my college and everything the professor said just went over my head and I was like, this is not for me. But I like the problem solving aspect of computer science. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm a big problem solver and that comes with the being organized and always wanting a plan for everything. I also really like just the way that my company like separates everything in sprints, which is 2 week increments.
Yeah.
And we do like quarterly planning of here's all our really big features we want. And then every sprint, plan our PBIs, product backlog items, like into each slot of the sprint to keep it in a nice flow. Like, oh, we got to get that done before this project. And then tasking everything out. So it's nice to like, I love that structure a lot
Yeah.
and being able to mark something as like, this is done, on to the next thing is super nice versus something that's arbitrarily done or, so
Yeah.
I really like that part of
Yeah.
it.
That's super nice. I think that's a big schedule and organizer. That's super helpful for one, but two, I think if I know my little experience with those kinds of projects, you have to like take a first glance and the first look is like you got to think of all the things you have to do, and then you kind of got to sort it out and then subdivide it into those things, and it takes a lot of thought process. Are there times when you think you have to add a feature or whatever, and does that bump into sprints at some points, or does that come through like a sprint review at the end of those 2 weeks more often?
Yeah, I definitely we get things that get pulled through, a lot of bugs, with customers using our software, finding an issue, and then it gets thrown into our sprint that we're working on things that were scheduled. So definitely some like disruptions. And I'm someone who likes to get them done as fast as possible to then go back onto what I was working on.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, disruption of the flow or when you're working is really annoying. I find that true for myself as well. As like, okay, gotta get that away so I can just like focus. And that sometimes for me, yeah,
It's always like in the back of my head if I don't get it done.
exactly. The same for me. And sometimes it's a little distracting because if there's enough side projects, I'll like forget about the main for a while, and I'll be like, oh, I kind of want to get back to doing this thing, but I've had 7 other things I've been doing the last week, so I didn't even get to work on my main project or whatever. But I relate to that kind of get the little things out of the way so we can work on the big project. Yeah. Do you find yourself to be more of a large scope person, or do you like individual tasks or processes? Go ahead if you have an
Yeah,
idea.
I'm definitely like higher level. I am not as like detail oriented right away. I need like very big umbrella, big scope, and then to narrow it down. And some of my coworkers I have a hard time sometimes because they are the opposite
Yeah.
and they get into the details right away and then work up, and it my brain just doesn't work like that. So I
Yeah.
always have to be like, hold on, like let's go all the way up to the top for a second so I can understand all the details. So
Right. Yeah. That's interesting. I find maybe you have this trait that I had in college. I took I don't know what kind of test it was, but like the strengths test. And it said I was a futurist. And I think that's kind of like a top down. I'm thinking like the big end goal, and then I kind of work my way backwards in order to find like the little tasks that I need to do. Is that more what you have?
see, I don't think so though. Like sometimes I have a hard time seeing the big goal.
Sure.
So it's like oh, like in the middle. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. So for me, it works more like I see, like, I want to build this thing or whatever. So I'm like, okay, what steps do I need? Well, I need, if I'm going to build a house or whatever, like my dad's done so many times, I'm like, okay, so where are we going to build? And then what part of the property are we going to build? What kind of structure are we going to build? Okay, how are each of the rooms going to look? And then I'm I'm already $100,000 in like 3 years in the future, and I got to work my way back, and then I'll be like, nah, today, what can I do today? Not much on that, but
That's a
it's
little
okay.
more Adam than me.
Mm.
Like it's he. We always have like I have this great app idea, and I'm like okay, and he's like we'll do all this stuff, and I'm like slow down. That's not going to be in the MVP at all. Like that's a good idea, but we need to focus on the other things first because you're only focusing on the way in the future things. So
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to be brought back to earth a little bit, but sometimes
yeah,
I can also get into like super tiny details when it's like not the thing yet. We have to figure some other stuff out first.
yeah.
Um, does he ask you to like build the apps with him, or does he do something? That's
Usually, yeah.
the plague of being a coder, and that somebody knows. You're like, oh, I have this great idea. You should do this, or you should do this. I'm like, with what time? I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
I've dabbled, and it takes forever, and I didn't really know it very well. So like learning the functions and stuff, it's hard. It takes a long time.
It's a
It's just
lot.
yeah.
And then you gotta test it a lot to make sure it actually works and there's no issues. So even if it's done, it's not fully done.
Right. And then you have someone try to use it and then they break it. immediately.
Exactly. They use it in
That's
a way you never would have thought.
exactly, yeah. It's so hard to be. That's like one thing about inclusivity. It's really hard to design something for everybody when it's just you, one person thinking about it. And even as a company, when you have quite a few different people working on it and they have to kind of work together. But it's always a small percentage of the people who are working on the problem and coming up with a solution that everyone has to be able to use. And that's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you find it difficult to have that as a job, or do you kind of like that aspect of it? I know you said you kind of want to get the little tasks like the bugs out of the way, so you can finish the development phase. But after a development phase, is it more like on to the next project for you, or does it like go back and review and like fix things?
Usually I think it's just because of where my team and the company's at though. We're just like consistently trying to go further and further just because we have so many requests from customers and our project managers to keep going. Like, here's another thing, here's another thing.
Sure.
Obviously, we have to fix all the bugs and everything, but so I don't even know if I really have the chance to sit and think about the things I just did because
Yeah.
it's always go to the next thing now.
Yeah. So I don't know what software you have and your company uses. Is it like a program for people that you're always trying to update and develop new features? Like, what does it do? What does it look like? What is it?
Yeah. So we do, I specifically work on software that stadiums run to score games. So this March I actually went to the Angel Stadium in California to watch them run our software, which was
Gotcha.
really cool.
Nice.
So we have those customers that usually say, "Oh, it'd be really cool if we had a clock here." Like,
Gotcha.
okay, so then it becomes we have to, boil it down, figure out what exactly they're looking for, and then it becomes a feature. We schedule it, and so it takes a while, but usually that's where all of our feedback comes from is stadiums or high schools, colleges.
Yeah,
all
users. The only one I know of that is where you are is Daktronics. Is that where you work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's
Cool.
yep.
Very popular brand for scoreboards and things, which also has a wide variety and range. So there's just the numbers scoreboards with just regular home and away, but then you have like the Angel Stadium, like you're talking about, is like jumbotrons and giant LED screens and all those
Yep.
crazy things.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a bunch of diversity in that as well. So that sounds like, yeah, it's always a process trying to get better and new and update things. It's like a giant company. It's like in my mind, it's on the level of like Google or Facebook or whatever. It's something that's not going to go away, but can always use improvements. And so
Yeah, yeah.
the job's never done. That's kind of hard, I think, for me. Is that hard for you to be like, the job's never done. You're just always trying to push farther and farther, and it's kind of like being in a long game. It's like whoever can be in it the longest is the best.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I think yes and no. I mean, there's some job security and always needing
Yeah, that's
improvements
nice.
and everything. I think with just how technology moves and how quickly it's evolving and changing, there's not really ever going to be a done. And I think I just know that. I see with like vibe coding now, there's been a lot of videos of people saying like, I made this new app and go try it. And it's hard because like I guarantee they haven't done any testing. There's been like they have been the only people to touch it and they suddenly put it out there and they think that it will always be out there forever and ever, and that's like it's never going to change, and that's just not how it can be.
Yeah. AI isn't that great at it right now. Working in the same office with Brett and Nate, it's like, yeah, they use it as a tool, but it's never the answer to the problems. And like in my coding, doing some vibe coding with the AI, it's like helpful for things like I don't know, but getting specific features, you really have to understand it, know it, and tailor it to your needs.
Yeah.
So
And then,
yeah,
I mean, even if it was super amazing right now, there's still going to be issues down the road with new upgrades to technology. You're always going to need to be updating and
yeah.
improving. So,
Right. The systems change, and the types, the way you use it changes, and yeah, that's just simple from like a Google search then versus now
yeah,
when it started. So
exactly.
yeah, it's just one easy example. Okay, switching back a little bit to your crochet. I see one of your little highlights is your story, your origin story of learning how to crochet. Tell us about how you got into it and why that makes you tick and why you like so much about it.
Yeah. So I learned to crochet from my grandma, and my grandma's mom knew how to crochet. I don't know past that, and I wish I did, but she taught me when I was maybe 8 or 9 years old, and I don't remember loving it that much, honestly, right away. Like it was just something that my grandma taught me, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool," you know. And then I didn't do it for a while, and then in high school, I just randomly started doing it again and was like looking up tutorials on YouTube and everything at the time,
Mhm.
and started to just fall in love with it more. It's it's very relaxing. It's very like therapeutic,
Mhm.
and being able to move your hands and like actually create something, I think is so cool.
Yeah.
And being able to make things that are actually useful and like practical, I really like that.
Yeah, that's cool. That makes sense. It's like tactile. It's like you said, therapeutic. It's relieving. There are lots of little things like that. But then the fact that it's useful and you can hear it, can't you? You got a dryer going. Anyway, the fact that it's useful to you or to someone else makes it, for me, I think, more entertaining, enjoyable, and like I'm a practical kind of person, and I like that it can be used and enjoyed. And it sounds like that's something you like to do too, and that's really how it came about.
Yeah, and I also just love math too, and there's
Mm.
so much math that goes into everything with crochet and designing it and doing patterns, and I think that's just makes my math brain happy to give a practical but also creative outlet for it.
Hmm. Yeah, that's super cool. As a big math person myself, I find myself wanting to use it. I look for situations where I'm like, okay, where where in this building could I use this? Or going to engineering school is like, how would I make this structure? What is going to make it strong? Or what are the angles? Kind of thing. I'm big into like the simple geometry, not crazy trig, but I really enjoy that. And knowing the features like how strong something is and if it's going to break, which has some messed me up actually to a unique level. Interestingly, learning about the strength of materials, and we tested things so that they broke. And so I'm always nervous that everything's going to break because I'm like, I actually know a literal value for this thing and how strong it is. And so it just like blows my mind when I've seen it fail, even though it's like impressively strong. But I'm like, okay, how does this little thing of metal or even plastic? I'm like, I can't quantify it. This machine is way stronger than me, but it's like it's just gonna break so easy. But it doesn't.
Yeah. It's cool with crochet because it's so old
Mm,
and everyone builds on the backs of each other, and it's just oh, it's really cool to think about and like see old pictures in like England. They were selling or like making little crochet flowers and selling them
mm,
as profit to make like get by
yeah.
when money wasn't going around very much. And then now we're like it's kind of going into stores, which isn't very great. But like being able to see everyone be so creative with it and use stitches that were created so long ago is just
Mm,
really cool.
yeah, it's a cool tradition that's been passed on and passed through and to connect with your history or with just a long-standing tradition is so cool. Yeah, I'm remembering a trip I took to Flowerfield, which is down in Banner County, of like an old sod house kind of school. And they talked about quilting and stuff, and how they had a bunch of women coming together and doing all parts of it, making all the stitches, weaving the yarn and the everything that it takes. There's actually a whole lot of things to do in the process before it can actually be woven, and so that's impressive to me. And it takes a lot of commitment, and it's pretty wild.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about getting into like looming and making your own weaves?
Not really. No. It's a very long process, and yeah. People always say like you're inevitably going to be making your own yarn at some point, and I was like, I don't think that's going to happen to me. Maybe it will, I don't know. But there's a lot of process. You got to fully get it from a sheep. You got to shear the sheep, and then now you got to clean the wool, and then you have to spin it, and then you have to like spin it again. So it's a whole, then you got to dye it.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So people at least say you might get into dyeing, because you can buy yarn and then dye it all these crazy colors. That seems a little bit easier than fully spinning it and everything. But
Yeah.
Adam thinks it'd be cool to have our own like alpacas or sheep and do it. I'm like, I don't know about that. It'd be cool, but that's a lot of work. So
You can do that part, Adam, and you can do the farm stuff and get it all ready, and then I'll just weave it together. I'll crochet it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nice. Give him another job. Is there anything unique, specific to you that you think you would like to share with people?
I don't really know. I'm not sure.
No worries. I have enjoyed getting to know you over the years, because I don't know, it's been interesting. I didn't know you guys very well. Like, I knew Adam first because he went to school with Erica, my sister, in the same grade for a little bit. Mostly just started with like yearly testing, and then he came, I think, CCS 1 or 2 years, and then left high school. And at that time, then I started moving, and then went to college, and you guys have been dating for a while, and then got married.
Yeah.
But it was nice when I moved back to have you two around, and it's been a lot of fun, because I started hanging out with Adam because of group, but then hanging out with you tangentially, and then getting you over to the house for parties and gatherings is super fun. So I appreciate your willingness to do this, for one, and second, to just share life and to include yourself and be included. And it's been a joy to get to know you, and looking forward to doing it more, and hope we get some more times. Chris and I want to come back up and visit soon. So looking forward to that. Yeah, so
add to our visitors for the weekends.
Yeah, right. Keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for doing this, Hunter, and
Yeah, thank you.
I hope you enjoy continuing in your work and play as you crochet and do other things. So,
Thanks.
What do you bring?